Welcome to Work the Left Side. It is that time of the month again when True Grit will be having a show. They are in York on the 30th of December, and it's a special one. It's the first show which is going to be a TV taping for sort of 3 episodes that follow. Obviously I am here, and I am joined by the man himself. As it's in York, I will announce him as Dan's Cans Dan. And buddy, how are we doing? You good?
Yeah, good mate. Good to be back. Been a bit under the weather recently, so I apologise to anybody watching or listening if there's a bit of the odd cough or I sound a bit weird. Still getting rid of the old lurgy, but I'll be right as rain in time for Saturday, serving up the cans. Looking forward to it. The return of True Grit TV. The concept that JC and the crew tried coming out of as they were coming out of COVID. Aired YouTube shows weekly that were taped, I think, in PPW's old facility, if I'm not mistaken. Which I loved, watched every episode. It was brilliant. JC's got big ambitions, has always wanted to do weekly shows, and this is just going to be a nice little way to test the water.
That's it. I mean, obviously now they're on Triller. It's a perfect platform for it, kind of thing. They've got that thing now where they've got an outlet. They just need to have the content. So obviously they're busting their asses to get that content made, get it out onto Triller, and weekly episodes. Obviously, I think as you sort of said, testing the waters. We've speculated, or I've speculated because that's what I do. I just kind of think out loud. The York shows are going to be for the TV tapings. So it sounds like, to start with, they're doing 3 episodes leading up to the next show, which is obviously the lead show, which is going to be the Rumble. So we're going to get those 3 episodes, and that will sort of progress stories, that will tell stuff, leading up to the big. I know it sounds weird saying like the lead shows are going to be the pay-per-views, basically. That's the mindset I've got to look at it.
Yeah, well, a little bit. I mean, the thing is, with Leeds, you've got the grandeur of that venue. It looks brilliant on TV, and York looks good. But Left Bank is special. It's great. It's to me, it's an iconic venue of British wrestling now. True Grit have made it their own. It's part of the unique look. So I've not really got a problem with it, because looking at the card here, we're still getting what we've been getting from the York shows, which has been the same as any True Grit show, which is a stacked show, chock full of bangers. But what's most interesting to me about the True Grit TV coming back is they're giving themselves the chance to maximise Triller. Maximise the exposure, getting something a bit shorter out to people, because not everybody's got time to sit down and watch a 2.5, 3 hour show. I'm a massive TNA fan. Final Resolution this weekend. Not been feeling so well, still had things to do. Ended up watching Final Resolution in like 3 sittings across 2 days. So, maximising the exposure that way and giving themselves a chance to tell an even more in-depth story. I think it's a really exciting thing to do, and I've got to applaud JC and admire him for taking the chance.
Anything I say is not meant as besmirchment or not in a gnarly fashion.
No, of course.
Out loud. I love True Grit. I'll always, any doubts I have are not doubts out of negativity. They're just kind of like curiosity. And JC has more than earned our trust. So if I do ever sort of question anything, it's more because I'm interested to see how it will pan out. Not that I doubt it.
It's always how is this going to work? What are the moving parts going to look like? What are we going to see in the venue as fans? What are people going to see at home? Are we going to see, because True Grit have got the screen, they'll do the video packages. Are we going to see bits and pieces playing out on that live? I really thought that was an actual pot noodle then. I've pinned gun on that one.
I don't even bother with the fork. I just suck it out of the pot. It's like, bosh. Noodle juice. But that's the thing. Because also, part of me as well is like, well, if we're at the shows, are we going to watch the episodic stuff? But obviously we are, because we're only going to get to see, like the matches and stuff. We won't. Paul mentioned it previously. Last time we talked, you touched on it as well. There's going to be loads of stuff going on backstage. They might even have shit going on outside that we don't get to see. We're only going to get to see about 50% of what's recorded.
Yeah, and that's going to be great. I want to be surprised by what I watch on TV compared to what I watch live, because I know, we all know, we've been to enough True Grit shows now. Whatever we see live is going to be great. It's going to be top tier. It's going to be entertaining. There's always a bit something for everybody, which we can see in this card that's been set up for Road to the Rumble. So yeah, it's going to be awesome to see what gets added on around that.
It's just the fact it's going to be recorded in a school just makes me chuckle as well. You know, kind of seen all these backstage segments or things being recorded, and you're just like,
dude, how do you think? I've said it before so many times. How do you think I feel? These have been recorded in rooms where I was taught maths. Literally, where the wrestlers have to set up and get changed in the dressing rooms effectively are my old maths rooms. Some of the stuff is like, I'm looking around going, well, that's my old form room over there. That's where certain things happen, you know, when you're kids and you're just like, fucking hell. One of the rooms down there is where I choke slammed a kid called Liam onto a table and got caught by one of the teachers, and it's just like, it blows my mind every time, and it's just makes me so happy.
full circle, dude. From Dan doing choke slams to freaking Vusyk or Kemper doing choke slams. There we go.
From choke slams to slinging cans.
Yeah. Dude. Let's we'll probably touch on this afterwards. We'll talk about the matches that have been announced and stuff, because obviously we're gonna sidebar into other stuff and sort of start asking questions or speculating, because that's what we do. First match I want to shout out, because again there's not been any graphics, so I'm just going to kind of, what I'm thinking about, what's in my head at any given point will be what I talk about. Tim Strange versus Gung Ho Muttley.
Yeah, we've actually had a video from Tim Strange just today released, and it's a sponsored match. I can't remember the sponsors off the top of my head. I think it was Arcade House Treasures, something like that. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that's right. If it's not, I apologise.
But they paid us to sponsor, so
but I try and pretend I'm somewhat professional. But in the spirit of what they do, Tim Strange has proposed that this be an anything go match, and they're going to use lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of Lego. Which anybody who's ever stood on a Lego brick knows how painful that is. Now imagine getting slammed by a 6'6" cowboy onto Lego. Gungo's in for a rough night.
I've mentioned this before, and apologies if anybody's heard this story before, but literally, you know, I've seen death matches. I've been to a few. I've seen hardcore matches. One of the most gut-wrenching, inducing matches I'd ever seen was Tidal back in the day at O2. It was a barefoot Lego death match. It's one of those moments where you just kind of like, I can imagine people think, you know, hearing the Tim Strange thing being like, Lego. I was of the same mindset before that match, and about 2 minutes into that match, I was like, I don't feel right. This isn't sitting right with me. Mate, it was just horrific. It was brutal. Like you sort of said, anybody who's stood on Lego can just knows how painful that is. Now just times that by freaking a crazy amount. And it's like, poor Gung Ho is going to be not to sound this is going to sound weird, but he's not going to be walking right for about a week. You know, I think there's going to be Lego on his feet, on his arse, on his back, on his legs, on the back of his head. He's just going to be all over the shop.
Yeah, I did get it wrong. It's Atlantis Hidden Treasures who are sponsoring the match, so I'm just correcting myself. With the Lego thing, I can't remember if it was BWR or NGW, but years back when I first saw Lego used in a match, like you, I was thinking, is that going to be that bad? And then it was Nathan Cruz got slammed onto a load of Lego, and he came up, and the bricks were stuck in his back. I was like, okay, that is that bad. Yep. Fine. That is now one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen.
Just say JD Boom and Addy Starr, just to acknowledge the people who went through the Lego deathmatch that I witnessed. So
I've not heard either of those names in quite a while. What a throwback.
Yeah.
But yeah, I take it we're united in this one, that there's only going to be one winner here. It's going to be another strike in the loss column for Mr. Muttley, and I'm going with Tim Strange, and I assume you are as well, mate.
Yeah, MWO for life, baby. Tim Strange, every sort of every second of every day of every week of every month. There's no upset inbound. It's just going to be another little, like I say, little white chalk mark on the L column on the chalkboard. The big question is, how many of those marks are we going to get in the L column before we see one in the W? Especially now he's on. This is perfect, right? This is the sidebar that I was all about. TV tapings, TV shows, episodic format. The way that True Grit works, the way they like to book, Gung Ho is perfect for like weekly episodic stuff. This chalkboard is perfect, for this. You can have a 10-15 minute match if you want. You can have a 5-minute match. It doesn't matter. It works. And just seeing those columns ticking up, I've
had an idea. We know Wing Commander Nash is going to be present, representing the Rebels, but we don't know what he's going to be doing. We know who he is, but we don't know why he'll be there, to paraphrase a certain famous wrestling promo. What if Gung Ho comes out looking for his win and we get Biff Bash Bosh, Wing Commander Nash, Gung Ho Muttley impromptu match? Nash gets his win. And obviously Gung Ho's not affiliated with the regime, but then we get another win for the Rebels. I'd quite like something like that, and I think Gung Ho would be perfect for it. Nash would excel in stuff like that. So that's a little sort of side prediction that I'd like to see.
Definitely. But that fits the format.
Yeah, well, we were saying before, we were thinking briefly about, can we predict what Nash is going to do? And you can never predict that at the best of times.
No.
He's as likely to come and have a match with Gung Ho Muttley as he is to fly his drone through the school or, I don't know, engage in a rock, paper, scissors tournament with the crowd. I think the only thing we can say for certain is that he's going to have some involvement with the raffle.
You mentioned the drone. I'm just waiting for Nash to go full Broken Hardy or something and fly the drone around the school, or do that intro, like turn the school into the Hardy compound. And it's the Nash compound. It's just, you got this drone flying around doing the aerial shot.
Instead of going broken Hardy, it's full Yorkshire and knackered Nash.
Mate, again, that'd be awesome. I think everybody will be unanimous except for poor old Gung Ho, the only person who's rooting for himself or backing himself. I think everybody will say, are you doing the predictions for this one still? With it being, cool.
Yeah, I've got the spreadsheet in front of me, so your predictions are going on there. I put a thing into the True Grit Discord earlier just to let people know it was still happening, because I meant to do that about 3 days ago, but forgot. I'm incredibly organised and professional, I said.
Watch Tony vote for Gung Ho.
I think that might happen. We've had a few rogue predictions from Tony before. Fingers crossed Tony's there, because obviously Tony had to miss the last one with a few health issues. So fingers crossed he's there. And I don't know if either of them watches, but Mark Brown as well had to miss the last one with a bit of a health issue. But he's all good now, as far as I know, and it'd be great to see them both back.
Yes. Get well soon, both guys. You're both awesome, and you've been missed. We'll see you at a future show.
Yeah. So next match I had, you're actually going to like my prediction for this one. I'm going to lay it out there early. So next on my list, I had Sean Only versus Joey Slade. A rematch from when Joey was even younger. And Sean kicked the shit out of him.
Yeah. He answered the open challenge, did he not?
He did indeed, yeah. Yeah, back in the day when Joey was just trying to get noticed. And people liked it.
Oh my God, that wrestling! I remember seeing him then and just thinking, it's the only time I've really ever been. The only negative thing I'll ever say about Joey is his wrestling attire was god awful.
It's changed since, hasn't it?
It has, yes. God, yes. Thankfully, it was freaking awful. I don't even know what he was thinking. I don't know if somebody told him it looked good, or somebody's trying to put a rib on him, or it was just kind of like, yeah, mate, that looks awesome. Do it. Go out and wrestle in that gear. You want to be memorable? That's memorable.
It was unique. You remembered it.
Yeah, true.
I'll be honest, it's that long ago now, and I've not gone back and watched it. But yeah, Sean beat the piss out of him, and I don't see it going that way again. It's going to be a much more competitive match just because of how far Joey's come on. and the rest of the regime are there as well. And just on the balance of it, I think it's about time we saw Joey pick up a win, whether it's shenanigans or what. So I'm actually backing Joey Slade for this one.
That's me passing out from shock. But yeah, I think obviously the problem with Sean is as well, you know, he put out some super kicks last time he was in York. You know, I think he's got a few receipts coming from the regime guys. So fight shenanigans or distraction or whatever. Yeah, this is I was always going to say, as much as I love Sean, everybody knows I love Sean. Sean's amazing.
Yeah,
but Joey's my boy. You know what I mean? I'm never going to not back Joey. So
see, I'm going with logic. You're just going with the fact you love Nottingham.
Yep, that's me. Represent. But yeah, so Joey for this one. It's going to be a great match, though. Like you sort of said, it's going to be. It'd be interesting to go back and watch the last encounter before watching this one, just as like a sort of comparison. Because I mean, the thing with the last one is as well, though, that came out of nowhere. This is a huge thing for Joey. Is Joey pretty much got that match on the back of a promo, you know, calling out Sean Only, who was doing the open challenge kind of thing. And it was the passion, it was just how Joey came across in that video, that promo. It was basically like, yeah, fuck it, let's, you know, Sean was like, yeah, let's do it kind of thing. That's always what Joey's done. He's put himself over, he's got himself where he needs to be. It's just, again, it just speaks volumes for the guy.
Yeah. And I don't think give Sean credit for how long he's been around True Grit either. Sean Only was one of the first people I saw wrestling a True Grit ring nearly 10 years ago.
Yep.
Must be coming up 10 years soon. Back when he was tagging with B.A. Rose, funnily enough, which is a team I'd love to see reprised. But yeah, Sean's fantastic. They're going to kick the shit out of each other. Both men have their own style, but both men hit hard and are just bloody good at what they do. So this is going to be one of those that will be an absolute banger. And
I think Mr. Ian Baker will appreciate this one. He's a massive fan of Sean Only, and again, he loves Joey. He's got nothing but appreciation. So I'll dedicate this match to Mr. Ian Baker.
Yeah, you're wrestling in Newcastle driver, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, baby. I'm going to Newcastle. Way the lads.
No, so I'll do have to get up to one of them shows.
For a tenner, mate. Jeez, crazy.
It's a long bloody way.
This is true. But, you know, if you find somebody who can drive, like I've been fortunate enough to do, 30 quid for 4 tickets. Oh, there you go. 40 quid, 3 tickets, £7.50 each. You know, you could sell the other 3 tickets for a tenner and you've got your ticket for free. That's covered petrol, mate. Come on.
Duly noted. Next match.
Yep.
Got a couple of things to predict with this one. Not only the winners, but also one of the participants. We've got Lallie for the second show in a row, Lana Austin and Holly Barlow against Alexxis Falcon. And it was supposed to be Lucy Sky partnering her, but Lucy unfortunately got injured and is out for the rest of the year. Obviously, wish her the best in her recovery and hopefully get her back soon. So we've got to predict Alexxis Falcon's partner. Now, we had a brief chat off air about this, and it's not easy to predict. We're at a bit of a loss, and I've not had anybody spring to mind as of yet. Oh, wait, actually, I have. If she's available, Lizzie Evo.
Oh,
I'd love to see Lizzie back in True Grit, and Lizzie can heal it up with the best of them.
Yes. Especially, there's obviously I know she's kind of resides in Wales now, so I think travelling would be more than anything. But Lizzie's a great shout. Obviously, I'm never going to be like, don't want to see Lizzie. Of course, I want to see Lizzie. Lizzie's boss. She's like one of the best top 5, talents in this country, kind of thing. She's amazing. But just thinking, I don't know. You've got Lily Winter, maybe.
Yeah. Lily was somebody. I was actually just scrolling back through my prediction spreadsheets there just to try and get a bit of inspiration. Lily Winter would be a great fit.
Mate, get the Rascals, get Crowley and Falcon back together against Lallie.
So it's my turn to do the forehead grab now. If I didn't have glasses on, I'd do exactly what you do. I would love to have the cheeky little buggers team up in True Grit. That would be phenomenal. I've only seen Crowley wrestle a handful of times, and the last time was in a multi-man match at the Progress show in Vegas for the Proteus title, which was just mint. I fucking love Charles Crowley. If that happens, you will see just me just marking out behind the bar. You'll be losing my shit.
I'm like, oh, he's doing it.
I'll be stone cold in beers, just boom.
That'd be awesome. But no, I think Lily Winters, getting our feet back on the ground. I think Lily Winters would be a good shout. I'm trying to think of anybody else over there. I think Lucia Lee is injured as well, so she's not in the equation. She would have been great. I don't know. It is, there's a certain lady over that way that's making a mark, doing awesome, hit the ground running. Somebody called Saxa. She generally works face. Yeah, but she normally works face. But given this chance, I'm sure she could turn the heel on.
Yeah, name from last year who's not been back to True Grit yet, Leonie Rose.
Is she still working?
I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm just
I don't think. I think
obvious one, or potentially obvious one. Eve Bateman.
Yeah, that's not a name I want to put out there unless I know it's going to happen. I can't get myself hyped about Eve turning up and then she doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm like, Eve Bateman is yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, God, mate, I would absolutely mark the fuck out if Eve Bateman turned up. I was like, yes.
Why were you so shy about saying fuck just then?
I don't know. I kind of fixed myself. I was like, hang on a minute.
Is that the word? Fuck, is that a word?
Fuck, yes, I'm allowed. I'm censoring myself now. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I can't say that word. It's a bad word. It's a bad nick. But
I think the two most likely are. I think the two most likely, just for sort of general proximity to the show, are potentially Eve Bateman and Lily Winter.
Yeah.
But either way, I'd just be happy to see whoever turns up. Just gonna be great to have Alexxis Falcon get a partner, potentially a new face. But honest to God, if it's Charles Crowley, I will shit a brick.
Clunk.
Yeah.
I
might even make it to the toilet. But either way, whatever happens, you've definitely got three of the best wrestlers in the country, and then you're going to get a fourth.
Yes.
We saw first time out at the last show, Lallie are just absolute gold together. Lallie versus NRG was so much fun. They really are just they've got such a great dynamic and work so well together. And then Alexxis is going to play off that incredibly well. Just gonna be a complete twat with it.
Oh God!
So yeah, thoroughly looking. You up?
Alexxis is, like sort of said, we've said it on air before. She's a complete package. She's the ultimate heel kind of thing for the women's division. And against, Lallie is just so adorable, so likable. So everything about them just radiates fun and excitement, and just you can't help but smile. So whatever happens. Well, it's got to be a win for Lallie, though. I think we're going to see Alexxis first loss.
Potentially, yeah, but I don't think Alexxis will be the one that takes the pin. It'll be whoever a partner is. But the one thing that just popped into my head there, and this would be something for down the line when Lallie had been tagging for a while in True Grit. Imagine if this was who Alexxis Falcon's mystery partner, Lana Austin. It becomes a handicap match against Holly Barlow, just like full heel turn. But that's like I say, that's down the line. It'd be too soon to do that. It's certainly in True Grit anyway. Potentially in another another promotion where they've been taking a little bit longer.
Yeah,
but yeah, I can't see beyond Lallie.
No, definitely not. And it's going to be, like I said, just Alexxis being Alexxis, Lallie being Lallie, whoever the fourth person is, they can come in and they can have some fun as well. I mean, they're going to be in the ring with three, like you said, amazing people. There's not going to be any pressure on them. They can just turn up, and they can work. Yeah. They can have fun with it and just have a good time. And that's just, nothing but great stuff from this match.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the three matches we've talked about so far, I think we're going to, in terms of the actual shows and how the True Grit TV is going to play out, I think we're going to see Tim Strange, Gung Ho, Muttley on one show.
Yeah.
Sean Only, Joey Slade on another show. One show main evented by Lallie versus Falcon and whoever ends up being Falcon's partner. And the second show main event being the next match we're going to talk about, which is it's going to be a late candidate for True Grit Match of the Year. Vusyk, the hot tag champion, versus the True Grit Wrestling Pride champion, Adam Bolt. Me.
Shout out to Hot Tag as well. I believe I saw that post. If I read it correctly, the Hot Tag Bluey will only be defended at True Grit. Vusyk is the recognised champion. Because I know when I was talking to Dan, he was kind of said, "Oh, they were thinking about it as like a multiverse kind of thing. There'd be a champ here, there'd be a champ there, there'd be a champ there, kind of thing." I know it's that Kingdom. The belt is contested at Kingdom as well, kind of thing. But what I got from that post is an exclusive, which means Bluey will only be at True Grit.
Yeah, so True Grit's effectively the canon, the Bluey canon now.
Yeah.
If it's still got defended other places, it's just like a non-canon side of things. It's for nerds out there, it's a bit like what Disney did with Star Wars, and all the expanded universe stuff became Legends, and all their stuff went on that. Not to compare True Grit to an evil empire like Disney, but Jesse, the regime maybe. But anyway, Vusyk versus Adam Bolt, two of the very best in True Grit. Adam Bolt is, I'm just going to throw it out there. I know they tend to do end of year stuff with True Grit. If there's a vote for Wrestler of the Year, and in any other outlet that may be doing a vote for Wrestler of the Year, Adam Bolt is mine, hands down.
Well, funny you should say that, because he's made the work the left side. We have been doing polls. We have been trying to figure out who will get the best of the year. And we've just announced the other day our final four for male wrestler of the year. And Adam Bolt is in there alongside Billy O'Keefe, Kemper, and RPD. So there you go.
It's a very strong final four. But in terms of True Grit, Bolt's got the best body of work in terms of matches he's put on. The sheer amount of shows he's been on. I think by the end of this year he'll have been on more shows than anybody else. I will have to double check that, but at the time of writing my article that came out a few months back, he would have been on the joint most.
With
and
Brady.
I think potentially with Brady. I'd have to go back and do a stats sort of deep dive into it. That could be fun. End of year stats deep. Anyway, sorry, getting ahead of myself. But yeah, Bolt. If anybody's listened to this episode, you know how highly we regard him. He's phenomenal, even if he can be a twat. And Vusyk is just one of the top contenders in True Grit. He's been a bit of a perennial nearly man as Vusyk for the last little while. He's always got to the number one contendership and then just can't get over the hurdle, be it because of shenanigans, well, mostly shenanigans, to be quite honest. The regime fucking him over. But he put on a match of the year contender with Luke Jacobs, and I am so torn on this match. on who I not even on who I want to win, because if the man wins, the fans win because we're going to get a hell of a match. But the logic side of it and trying to predict who will win is so difficult because Bolt is on a hell of a run.
Yep.
Vusyk would be a great challenger at the Rumble for riding over. There's no titles on the line. But what about the draw? I don't know why I've got it in my head that it could be. There's not a time limit on the match as far as I know, but potentially a double pin or something. I don't know why I've got a draw in my head.
That
And
would
then,
be. I know obviously Vusyk and Brady kind of did it with the double pin, but I'm sure we've had this conversation before where a time limit draw, it's not something that you see a lot of, but when it's done right and when it's done with two people who are legitimately so close in ability and talent, it kind of it works. You know, I mean, if they announced before this match started, oh, this match has been, it's scheduled for 20 minutes, blah blah blah, or 15 minutes, I'd be like, I don't know it.
A champion versus champion exhibition match.
Yeah, and it runs 15 minutes of these two guys just going at it would be absolutely breathtaking. It would be, and both guys could be, they could do that 15 minutes. You could then get the whole fans like, 5 more minutes, and then Bolt just be like, no, mate, ain't happening, walking out. But
Bobby Cash then gives us 5 more minutes.
yeah. But that's, to me, again, obviously I know it ain't going to happen, but at some point in the future, in a similar situation, a time limit draw match would work perfectly.
I would, I'm building this up in my head, but I would love for this to eventually become a number one contenders thing.
Triple threat.
Yeah, but what would be great is to have a time limit on this one, get the draw, and then probably not at the Rumble because you've already got a lot going on. The next match between the two should be an Iron Man match.
But why not at the Rumble? Because again, looking at it as in this is, I know it's going to be a
20, 30 minute Iron Man match, or even like they used to do in FCW, the 15-minute Iron Man match.
Yeah, because this is, again, I know the matches are going to be of quality. I know they're not going to be, I don't want to keep mentioning the TV thing because I don't want to sort of undersell the York shows. York shows are still going to be amazing. You're still going to get high quality matches and stuff. But it will have gone out on TV, technically, kind of thing. So why not have the rematch at the Rumble when it's the pay-per-view kind of thing and make it, feel a little bit more next level?
Yeah, true. You can have, because the Rumble's the main event, but they usually have 2 or 3 matches, 3 or 4 matches on the. I don't like using the word undercard, but that's kind of what it is.
Yeah, it is at the Rumble. Anything other than a Rumble is the undercard.
Or maybe Jacob's Ladder as well, with the big set piece ladder match. But anyway, getting off the point, with Vusyk and Adam Bolt, it feels like a number one contendership feud.
Yeah.
If we're going to go this route and have the True Grit TV, and I can't wait to see how it plays out and all the rest of it. But imagine if you go into True Grit TV and Vusyk, Adam Bolt main events one of the shows, they're going to put on a banger. We know that. They then have the Iron Man match or a rematch, whatever, on the next True Grit TV, and that becomes your sort of the backbone of the whole concept. I could easily see that, and ultimately one of them or both of them next year, I think, will challenge for the title, and I can easily see both men with the belt. I could see Adam Bolt as double champion, quite frankly.
Oh, 2-belt Adam, 2-belt Bolt.
Imagine how much of an insufferable twat he'd be.
Yeah. 2 belts in your face. 2 belts in your face. But yeah, because that's the, I mean, obviously again, using the TV thing as I sort of said, there's what do you use TV episodes for? It's a way of getting people to go to the pay-per-views. It's a way of trying to sell an extra few tickets, get people eyes on the product. If they can't get to a show, then they're going to watch the episodes. You see that like main event and episode, you are going to be like, you know what, fuck, I need to see this in person. If they've got a rematch, right, I'm off to Left Bank. I need to go watch this match in person. I've just seen it on TV. I now need to go see it in person.
And it'd be the same with Lallie as well.
Yeah.
Lallie are just brilliant. They're supremely entertaining, like I said. And, if that's one of your main events, if Vusyk and Adam's one of your main events, and they're supported by the madness that Tim Strange and Gung Muttley are going to bring, and then Sean Only and Joey Slade kicking 7 shades out of each other. It's a winning formula. It really is.
Because that could be the 2 matches per episode with obviously backstage footage and other things going on in between, kind of thing. That would work. If you got those, like you sort of said, Dave, that works perfectly. Like I say, the female tag match end in 1 episode. Sorry, Vusyk, Bolt, and then another episode, and then obviously, yeah, we'll get to the other match in a minute. But and then then we've just kind of got that. We just need one more match announced or something, maybe to for the first half of the last episode, kind of thing. Because you got to presume that's going to be the last match of the last episode before the Rumble will be, the four-way. I just want to shout out because obviously we've just been talking about Adam Bolt. I didn't get a chance to acknowledge the awesomeness that is Vusyk. Dude, anybody who's knows me or seen, I did a piece of artwork, I think at the start of this year or late last year, and it was done in like a blueprint style kind of thing, and it was of Vusyk, like comic book sort of style artwork, the blueprint, and it was just Vusyk, and it's just like somebody asked like, why blueprint? I was like, mate, the guy is the blueprint for the next generation of wrestlers. You know what I mean? I've seen this guy come on leaps and bounds over the last 2 years. He's always been great in the ring. He's even better in the ring, but he can tell stories now. He can get emotion out of the audience, out of himself. So yeah, Vusyk is boss. Adam Bolt is boss. You're gonna ask me to pick a winner though, aren't you?
I'm gonna ask myself as well because I can't. I'm leaning towards the draw somehow, and I don't know why. I've got a feeling that'll be my downfall. But you know what? I'm going to nail my colours to the mast and say that as great as both men are, it is going to end somehow in a draw.
I will join you on the fence.
No, you're not allowed. It's my fence. Fuck off.
yeah. I've got my Kevlar pants and no splinters for me. I was going to sit on the fence. I'm like,
you're going to have to disagree with me at some point, and fingers crossed it happens in the main event because we've both gone for a draw there. We are 4 for 4 so far, and the main event quite timely because a couple of weeks ago WWE ran their Survivor Series annual event. Didn't actually have a Survivor Series match on the show called Survivor Series. But True Grit are putting one on. 4-on-4 elimination tag match. The regime consisting of Sash who posts his AI holiday photos for in his spare time. Got the former tag team champions, the powers that be, aka the Underpants Gnomes, and the reigning, defending epitome of toxic masculinity, as he likes to call himself, Riley Nova.
Nick's
lads. I'm so proud of that. That was me.
Ron Still Riley.
And they're facing off with current tag team champions. Misery Business won it at the last show, Jacob's Ladder. Former world champion Kemper, and former world champion and former head of the regime, at least from a wrestling perspective, because we all know JC is the real power in the regime, Brady Phillips, the big return of Brady Phillips to True Grit. How torn are you with Brady going against the regime?
Yeah, obviously I'm torn. I don't know. You say, why would I be torn?
I don't know. I just figured you're a regime bitch, and Brady might still be your boy.
He's not, because he was never a Nottingham boy. I never really hyped up the fact that Brady was. He was also. I don't get me wrong. I'm totally kayfabe there, so we love Brady. Brady's amazing. I can't even keep this up. I can't keep this kind of.
I'm just trying to engineer a disagreement.
I can't keep this facade up. Sorry, but no, Brady's obviously boss. It's going to be very, very weird. The only thing I would be torn about is cheering Brady. You know, obviously as True Grit fans, we've had it drilled into us over the last couple of years since he first turned up with his little Charver cap and his joggies. Then he became bulletproof. He became, the man. Brady is a bad guy. He's a heel. We boo him. Now he's turned up. It's like, ooh, now he's a face. Now we have to cheer him. It's going to be weird. Like I'm still kind of. I very much planted my flag that I wanted Brady back at the Rumble.
Yeah,
I wanted that big.
With Brady back now, I think we're heading towards Brady versus Riley. for the world title at the Rumble. So how we get there, I'm not entirely sure. But it will play into my prediction, because I'll just go ahead and say I'm pretty sure Misery Business, Kemper and Brady are going to win this, but I think the sole survivor is going to be Brady Phillips.
Yes.
It just...
I'm going to say it. God damn it. No, I'm not going to say it. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to disagree with you. Part of me, logically, in my head, I'm like, it would make sense. Riley to lose, he's got to kind of, especially again, knowing the booking brain and how things work, you know, whoever wins at the pay-per-view loses on the TV, on the episode before the pay-per-view kind of thing. So Riley's going to lose on the episodic match, but he will win at the pay-per-view. That's Wrestling 101, 87% of the time. So yeah, logically, I'm thinking, yeah, Brady's team's going to win, but I can't bring myself to say it. So no, it ain't happening. The regime will be standing tall. 4 members still intact at the end.
So you're going for a regime 4-0. You're being the Ashes are on at the minute, which is appropriate. So you're being the Glenn McGrath and predicting a clean sweep for the regime, who in this case are Australia.
Yes. G'day.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Thing is, maybe not the clean sweep, but there's so many moving parts in this match and so many different facets and sort of micro rivalries and just little bits that it is sort of genuinely difficult to predict what will go on in the match, because the regime are going to function as a unit. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
Misery Business are going to function as a unit. It's just a fact. Will Kemper function with Misery Business? Potentially.
Yep. Yes. Will he function with Brady?
Can any of them fully trust Brady after all his shenanigans over the months and years and whatnot? Particularly Kemper and Brady.
Yeah, so
it's all these little things, and then how much is Brady going to be gunning for other members of the regime? How much is Riley going to want to put another nail in Brady's coffin? Will Ivy be there? Where will she fit into any of it? It's yeah.
Ooh.
See,
I'm not sure about Ivy. Ooh, that's a whole different. Yeah,
there's a lot to this, and it's going to be a lot of drama. And this is the main event of the show, and it's going to be a whole show on its own for True Grit TV. Survivor Series matches are long matches generally. I've actually, funnily enough, I've not long completed a rewatch of every single Survivor Series match that WWE have ever put on. It ended up being 93 matches I watched in 97 days because I'm sad.
Dude, wow.
Yeah. So this is going to be absolutely mental. And there's a lot of big hitters in there. And this is going to be brutal. But yeah, if even just in my head, Brady could even completely fuck over his own team just going for revenge.
Yeah.
Get counted out, get disqualified, leaves them 4-on-3. There's so many facets to it. I do think Brady's going to be the sole survivor on his big return, and for a great way to send, to send people, or at least the last member of Misery Business, Kemper and himself left standing. Yeah. But
again, like I said, the wrestling, my wrestling brain is, the episode will finish with Brady being stood on the top turnbuckle, making you believe that he might win at the pay-per-view. He stands a chance, he can do this, he can get his belt back. But that's just, again, we've watched way too much wrestling. That's kind of how we've been conditioned. But
imagine if it's all a red herring and Brady's actually still part of the regime.
It was me all along. But mate, it's going to be a banging match again. I'm as much as I'm joking, I'm sort of. No, I'm not joking. So the next bit is deadly serious. The regime, all good. But I also don't want to besmirch, obviously, Misery Business. You know me, I love Misery Business. Alan Kay, Joe Wade, 2 amazing human beings. Love them as a team. Happy to see them as tag team champs. They are team True Grit, sort of for me. And Kemper's my boy. it's going to be quality to see him do whatever he does. Although, you know, I'd like to think maybe at some point, you know, just to put a spin on it, do we get a Kemper heel turn? You know, is Kemper just going to snap? Is Kemper just going to snap and just be like, you know what, fuck it, I've had enough, can't be doing this anymore, and he just beats the crap out of, you know, Brady, and then Misery Business try to stop him, and he just beats them down. You know, we get a face off between Allen and Kemper, and it's like, oh, big men meet, slap. It's just, yeah.
Imagine if Kemper turned to the regime and became Riley's muscle.
No, I can't see that. That's too far. But I think Kemper would be like.
I don't want to see that. That's beneath Kemper.
Yeah, I just imagine him being a nomad. You know, just like walking alone. You know, just by himself. He's neither here nor there. And he'll just
and then we can book him against the nomad Bishop Dyer.
But you know what I'm thinking though. So I'm planting these seeds now. It's because I want to see. We'll quickly talk about as well on the poster. Obviously, we mentioned the 6 mystery. We've got 6 vacants, basically.
Yeah. Now, I put in the Discord about this. I love it when, before the call your shot gauntlet, and it used to happen before the Rumble in WWE, if they did like a multi-person match to see who got a certain position in the Rumble.
Yeah.
Whether it's for the number 30 slot or something like in TNA. What they do is the winner of the match gets the final entry, but the loser of the match has to go in number 1.
Yeah,
whoever eats the pinfall or the submission, whatever. I'd love anything like that. I've not heard if they were just for decoration. I hope not, because it could be like a mini battle royal, something like that. It could be like a Nash Open Invitational. You know,
it could just be segments. In fact, it could be backstage footage. It could be, I don't know. That's the thing, though. Depends how they want to work it, kind of thing. But you know, I've got to hope one of them's Billy O'Keefe.
Yeah,
I need Billy back to do it. No, it's no buts.
Yeah, Billy O'Keefe, George Hunter, Evan Bishop.
No, can't be Evan. Unfortunately, speedy recovery, but I do believe he's
injured.
Yeah, I believe he's out for a few months.
That's a shame.
But it sucks, obviously, you know, sending more wishes and positive vibes and healing thoughts and stuff to Mr. Bishop. But yeah, George Hunter, Billy O'Keefe, shame on
Sammy
Blue. It's just Mr. Fierce.
Yeah, Mr. Fierce. Anybody, just so many possibilities. And it used to say it's just 6. You know, like I say, it could be a mini Rumble or a mini Battle Royal to determine who gets a spot in the Rumble. Even, you know, imagine, you could have that. You could have like some of the some, like we said, a few names there. Some of the up and comers vying for a shot in the Rumble. Yeah, that'd be brilliant as well. A lot going on, a lot to look forward to. I did have another idea in my head, but it's just gone walkies. I don't know where that's gone. If it comes back before the end of the show, I'll let you know. Yeah.
Well, obviously, I mentioned the Final Four. The reason I'm thinking about the whole Kemper thing is obviously I did the graphic for the Final Four: RPD, Bolt, Kemper, and Billy O'Keefe. And I was kind of like, I think Billy O'Keefe and Kemper are side by side, kind of thing. I was looking at it, I was like, that would be one hell of a match. And I was just thinking, like, you know, if Kemper, they could do it in True Grit, you know, like if Kemper turns heel or something. Again, just put it out there in the universe, fantasy booking kind of thing. But as a fan, you know, that's David versus Goliath. You know, that's a wrestling story as old as time. You know, Billy O'Keefe versus Kemper, speed versus strength. The fans would get behind, you know, babyface Billy against the new heel Kemper. But yes.
Yeah, that'd be mint. Also, but you said about them side by side, I thought, and the first thing that came to my mind was that'd be a hell of a tag team.
Yeah. No, to be fair, that would be a hell of a tag team.
You know, we're looking for tag teams in True Grit. You know, some new challenges, freshen it up a little bit. Kemper and O'Keefe. Kemper.
Kemper. You came and you gave time.
God.
I don't know where that came from. I apologise.
If you're starting with the Barry Manilow references, I think it's time to finish up.
Oh man, I've got another whole 5 songs to go yet. But yeah, that would be awesome. But that's the thing. Obviously, if you don't have a ticket yet, get yourself a ticket. Get to York, don't be a dork. Be there. You know, it's memorable. It's going to be part of the True Grit history. You know, it's going to be the first of the new era TV tapings. It's going to be, it's going to be a night to remember. I would sort of say, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be memorable. We've got some quality matches on the card as always, and for me, again, every match looks awesome. It's a toss-up between that sort of Survivor Series match and Adam Bolt versus Vusyk. I can't get past Vusyk versus Bolt. That's just going to be, like, a late contender for match of the year. If it's given the time, if it's given 15 minutes, we get that time limit draw, mate. That is nailed on match of the year. But yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait. As usual, every match got something a bit different. The Lego match could be full of like moments of the year. You know, looking as we go towards the end of the year, we did that last year for True Grit, and there's so much to get our teeth into with that. But yeah, I'm dead excited. Can't wait to be there slinging cans again. Maddest thing in the world. Got recognised at the bus stop on Friday for slinging cans at True Grit. Lad just called me and said, "Yo, Dan, aren't you from Dan's Cans?" I said, "Yeah, his name's Harry. He's going to be at front row on Saturday. So welcome along, Harry. Good to speak to you, mate. Don't know if you watch this. If you do, brilliant. Yeah, bizarre experience, quite humbling, but very pleasant. Although I was quite drenched because it was absolutely pissing down. But yeah, love it. Love everything about it. Like Nick said, and like I've said before, don't be a dork. Get to York. And let's enjoy some True Grit TV.
Dude. But yes, obviously, Dan, let people know where they can find you on the socials, please.
Yeah, Dan Griffin 21 on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to hear more of me talking about stuff, Unbooking the Territory at UTT Podcast. Not currently recording that at the minute, but there's a big archive there of all sorts of wrestling content that I've done, including side projects. There's all sorts of shit. Go and check that out. If you want something a bit more nerdy, the Doctor Who pod on SJP World Media. That's at the DRWHOPOD at the Doctor Who pod. And I'm eating my mustache.
Yes. You know who we are. Thank you for watching. You know, hit like, subscribe, share, comments. And yeah, we'll see you again very soon. Goodbye.